Sydney McLaughlin entered the season under unmatched expectations. As the world record holder and Olympic champion, she wasn't just racing competitors, she was racing history and herself. Every appearance on the track carried a single question: how close to perfection can she get this time? Unlike many athletes, Sydney didn't rush into competition. Her season began carefully and deliberately, with a limited race schedule designed to protect her body and sharpen her execution. Early season meets weren't about volume, they were about sending a message. When she did step onto the track, it was immediately clear. Her rhythm was smooth. Her hurdle clearance was effortless. Her closing strength remained unmatched. Even without peak fitness, she dominated. In her first races of the season, Sydney competed primarily in the 400 meters and 400-meter hurdles, choosing events that emphasized endurance, control, and rhythm. Her early results weren't reckless world record attempts, they were commanding wins, often decided well before the final straight. She stayed relaxed through the first half, then separated from the field with devastating efficiency. The margins told the story. She wasn't just winning, she was cruising past elite competitors. Midway through the season, something shifted. Whether it was external criticism, questions about her limited race schedule, or her decision to explore flat 400-meter races more seriously, the noise grew louder. Some wondered if she was stepping away from her dominant event. Others questioned her competitive sharpness. Instead of reacting publicly, Sydney responded on the track. In one defining race, she delivered a performance that silenced doubt, a race marked by aggressive early pace, perfect technical execution, a brutal final 100 meters. It wasn't just a win. It was a statement. That means and return to what defines her greatness: process over pressure. Every race after that looked inevitable. She didn't celebrate wildly. She didn't react emotionally. She simply executed, again and again. As the season progressed, Sydney wasn't just winning races, she was controlling narratives. Her ability to shift between events, dominate under scrutiny, and remain mentally unshaken reinforced her status as more than a champion. She was, and remains, the standard. This season didn't begin with chaos. It began with patience. And patience, for Sydney McLaughlin, is often the most dangerous weapon of all. If Sydney McLaughlin is the symbol of perfection, then Femke Bol is the embodiment of relentless pressure. Their rivalry didn't begin with trash talk or dramatic moments. It grew quietly, race by race, until it became the defining duel of modern women's 400-meter hurdling. Femke Bol emerged from the Netherlands as a force built on consistency, volume, and fearlessness. Unlike Sydney, whose appearances are carefully selected, Femke races often. She dominates. Diamond League meetings, European championships, world indoor events, mixed and women's relays. Her strength lies in repetition. Femke doesn't just win, she applies constant pressure to the event. She became the clear number 2 in the world not by accident, but by winning almost every race Sydney didn't enter, posting world-leading times season after season, delivering under pressure in relay finals. This is what makes the rivalry special. Sydney McLaughlin. Perfect hurdle technique. Long, effortless stride pattern. Explosive closing speed. Rarely makes mistakes. Femke Bol. Aggressive race pace. High race volume. Relentless final straight. Mentally unbreakable. Sydney races for perfection. Femke races for control through pressure. Even when they don't race head-to-head, the rivalry exists. Every time Femke runs a fast time, the question appears: is she getting closer? Every time Sydney returns to the track, the world asks: how much further can she go? Femke has openly acknowledged Sydney as the benchmark, but she never races like someone accepting second place. Her performances send a message: if Sydney slips even once, I will be there. That constant presence keeps the event alive. Stadium when they share the track. When Sydney and Femke are in the same race, the tension is unmistakable. Femke often pushes the pace early, forcing Sydney to stay engaged. Sydney, in turn, responds with surgical precision, staying relaxed, then separating decisively in the final meters. These races are rarely chaotic. They are controlled violence. No mistakes. No panic. Just execution at the highest level. This rivalry has pushed the world record lower, elevated the global standard of the 400m hurdles, turned a technical event into a headline spectacle. Femke Bol made it impossible for Sydney to coast. Sydney McLaughlin made it nearly impossible for Femke to catch her. And that tension, that gap that's close but not closed, is what defines greatness. Crystal ball: the unfinished story. This rivalry is not over. As long as Femke continues to chase perfection and Sydney continues to redefine it, every season carries anticipation. Because history doesn't ask who tried the hardest. Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone entered the season quietly, almost ominously. No overload of races, no early hype tours, no chasing fast times just to prove a point. As always, her approach was calculated and intentional. Early in the season, Sydney focused on controlled race appearances, prioritizing execution over spectacle. When she did step onto the track, it was immediately clear. Her stride looked smoother. Her hurdle clearance was cleaner. Her speed endurance was sharper. Each race felt less like a competition and more like a statement of readiness. Rather than racing frequently, Sydney chose quality over quantity, letting the world wonder when, and where, she would truly unleash her peak form. When Sydney raced, she won decisively. Not by narrow margins, not by tactical games, but by commanding control from start to finish. Her performances showed. Explosive first 200 meters. Unmatched rhythm between hurdles. An effortless final stretch that broke competitors mentally. Even when she wasn't setting records, she was running faster than most athletes' personal bests, reminding everyone that she operates on a different level. For many athletes, early season races expose weaknesses. For Sydney, they exposed how far ahead she still is. Femke Bol remains Sydney's most significant and consistent rival. While Sydney races selectively, Femke races often, winning Diamond Leagues, European Championships, and maintaining elite consistency across the season. She thrives on competition and momentum, sharpening her edge through constant racing. The contrast is fascinating. Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone, rare appearances, historic peaks. Femke Bol, relentless consistency, season-long dominance. Femke pushes Sydney by never losing form, never backing down, and constantly proving that excellence can be sustained week after week. Yet when they meet,